What's up, guys? Just give me a minute before I start. Sorry about that. I had to move something for it took about a minute or two. But yeah, guys, so I just have the latest on Monday for Raw since I have nothing planned. So this is another random WWE stream review for tonight. Smackdown. Smackdown just ended about, you know, pretty much a minute ago. And I decided I want to talk about it. So welcome, guys. So let's get right into it, guys. SmackDown. Well, it was a fun show in all in all. We did have a great main event, a very well off main event. We'll get to that. Shinsuke Nakamura and Gunther for the championship, a solid main event. But we'll get into that. And we'll start from the beginning. As you know, the rumors of Hit Row have been swirling yesterday and today have been going well for a while, and it's true. Those rumors have confirmed that Hit Row is back, as you saw on the show, and Hit Row is back with Adonis, Big Dada, I think that's his name, and B Fab. No Isaiah Swerve Scott, obviously because, well, he's an AEW. So it's only a trio instead of a foursome. The Hit Row, and it's really the leader of Hit Row was Sir Scott, but he's an AEW, so it's basically a tag team managed by B Fab, basically, right now. And B Fab is the one who raps and stuff. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, they're back, and yeah, they're back, but they didn't start the show, obviously. They beat up a couple of jobbers, local jobbers, and they cut a promo. Basically, that's it. Telling the other back. That's basically it. But let's get to the beginning. Let's get to the beginning of this show, guys. So we kick off the women's tournament, the tag team women's tournament. As you saw on Raw this past week, a team of Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, or Io Sky and Dakota Kai, have advanced to the next round. On this show, SmackDown, we got the team of Isaiah Lee and Shotzi Blackheart taking on the team of Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah. And whoever wins this match goes faces the winners next week's matches between Natalya and I think it's Shayna Baszler. Is it Shayna Baszler? They take on the NXT team of Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. That's next week. Next week's. And so, but this match kicked off the show. And I thought it was a pretty solid match between the two teams. I personally didn't think. I'm going to tell you one thing. I didn't personally think Raquel and Aaliyah were going to win here because of Aaliyah. But I understand Raquel, but I didn't think Aaliyah was going to win. That team was going to win. I actually saw Shotzi in Isaiah. Oh my God, Isaiah Lee would win. Oh my God, I'm sorry if I keep screwing that up, man. I thought they would win. I don't know why. That's what I thought. And so they won. So they won. Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah, and they'll be taking on the winners next week's match. Between Natalya, I think it's Natalya and Deville, not Baszler. Natalya and Deville taking on the team of the call-ups, Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark, who was going to have a women's title match, NXT Women's title match against Toxic Attractions, Mandy Rose at not ECW, it was an ECW pay-per-view, but NXT 2.0 pay-per-view known as Heatwave. That's this Tuesday, I believe, actually coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. And so on. So, got a promo from Karrion Kross, Karrion Kross, as he's called in WWE. You know, he came back last week, attacked Drew. They set him into basically the main title picture feud between Roman and Drew. Drew comes out to cut a promo, his promo. Then you hear Scarlett or Karrion Kross's music hit, and Scarlett Bordeaux comes out, walking slowly to the ring to confront Roman. Now all of a sudden you see the Usos attack Roman, double team Roman, and take out Roman. Not Roman, Drew McIntyre. I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Take out Roman. Take out Drew McIntyre. Because, Drew McIntyre is having a match with Roman at Clash of the Castle in Cardiff. Wales. For the titles. And there's talk about USA Network wanting to win the titles on their brand. On Raw. Which I don't think is a dumb idea. I think, like 7 people. Nice. Getting people watching. Ask me questions. Comment. If you're new here, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Subscribe, do whatever you want. We're talking SmackDown. And then, next we're going to have Once again, the Viking Raiders in New Day. New Day. And it was Kofi. It was just Kofi this time. Kofi came to attack both the Viking Raiders, and once again, the plan backfired on Kofi. And the New Day got the best. Got being once again by just Kofi got manhandled once again by the Viking Raiders, or new Viking Raiders. And yeah, and next week they're gonna have a segment where the Viking Raiders are gonna have a funeral burning thing for a New Day next week, next SmackDown. I don't know. We'll have to check that out. Obviously. But that's next week. And you see a backstage segment where the Usos are confronting Sammy. You know, they're not very happy with them, especially Aveskus One is calling them out. It's like they want no business. I mean, you see Drew McIntyre out of nowhere start attack the Usos, and Sami Zayn basically ran away from that commotion, from all that. Like a coward that he is. The hell am I getting some? I'm sorry. I'm like, it's just stuff I'm reading right now, guys. I'm sorry. It's very mystical. Okay. Let's get on with the rest of the show. The matches are fine. The matches are fine. I mean, yeah, we had the opening match and we had segments. We had segments in there, right? But the segments weren't long. They weren't a pain. Get through. At least I didn't think so. They were a pain to get through. I know some of you must be watching AEW Rampage. We got a match. We got a match, a tag team match, where the Usos backstage called out Drew McIntyre. They called out Drew McIntyre, but they confronted Sammy, and tell him to do something. What's it gonna take for you to realize you're not part of this? Something like that. But they called out Drew McIntyre to a match, and it was a 2-on-1, basically a tag team match, but for some of it, it was like a handicap match because It kind of was. Until Riddick Moss of all people, came to Drew's aid, and he had a tag team match where obviously Usos would lose. I mean, Roman wasn't there. Roman wasn't at SmackDown. He'll be at SmackDown next week confronting Drew McIntyre. They're going to meet face to face in Montreal. But this match was actually pretty good. I didn't expect Moss. I mean, I guess they're very high on Moss if they put Moss in this program, add him somebody as a support wrestler in this program, it must be very high on Riddick Moss, wouldn't you think, guys? Like, seriously, right? And I'll be right. Okay, I'm back. Okay, guys, I'm back. But yeah, Drew won with the Claymore, and he was going for another Claymore on one of the Usos, but Sammy got in the way to save the Usos, and he took the Claymore himself. So he sacrificed himself for the Usos to try to get in their good graces again by taking the Claymore from Drew. And the Usos escaped with their lives. Okay. With their lives, I'm sorry. And then we're going to get to the next segment. Next segment. This is supposed to be a contract signing with Wanda Rousey. Before we get this contract signing, Wanda Rousey came back. They want contract signings between Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan to have their match at. They make it official at Clash of the Castle in Cardiff in Wales. That's what the plan. That was the contract signing. But before it got to happen, as you know, Wanda Rousey has been suspended for what she did at SummerSlam. You know, at the end of the match, attacking Liv, attacking the referees, the officials, getting suspended and fined. But she decided to jump to the show and breach a suspension by coming through the crowd, getting on the mic. She had a bag. Obviously, you know what was in that bag. She talks about her suspension and how much she got fined. And you know what? She basically admitted this is not the first time. This is not like this is not going to be the first time. It's certainly not going to be the last time that she's going to suspend her fine. And the good news is that she has the money to pay it because she does. She did make a lot of money from her career and some acting, and probably does make us money from WWE. So yeah, she definitely could pay the fine or whatever. And then you see security come out telling her to leave, and they're specifically like, I've never seen this before. Security with a woman. Always see this woman security guard or whatever she is. Obviously, was an independent wrestler in training or something, right? Or otherwise, we should have had her out there. But I'm very surprised because usually when you use security, it's usually independent wrestlers, but they're usually male. So she went to the ring, confronted security and the referee's official. She put that woman. She flipped over that woman, and then she was going to do she had an arm, where she does an arm bar. Looks at the male security guard. She hasn't given to the crowd. The crowd wanted her to do the arm bar. She hasn't given the crowd. She hasn't do the arm bar. And she walks up the stage, and all of a sudden, Shayna Baszler's music hits. And Shayna confronts her and is like, "What are you doing? You have to play by the rules. You have to play by the rules. I'm like, Shayna Baszler playing by the rules. I'm like, what? Shayna Baszler playing by the rules? And Ronda Rousey called her on her bullshit. You playing by the rules? And she just walks up, and Shayna Baszler's music hits, and she walks down the entrance to the ring. Liv Morgan comes out, and she has her arm. Is it not a sling, but it's all wrapped? I guess it's a sling of some sorts. It's all wrapped up. She had to hold it like you know how if you have like an injured shoulder or something, the way how she had to hold it. They go, talk back and say they sign the contract. Shayna Baszler tells her what she's gonna do, and then Morgan tells basically what she's gonna do. Shayna didn't like what she had to hear, and Shayna attacked Liv, dominating her. And you think Liv wouldn't you wouldn't think Liv had a chance because obviously she's hurt, selling her kayfabe injury, which suffered the hands out of SummerSlam, thanks to Wanda. But Shayna Baszler took Liv. She put her on her turnbuckle back first, sitting position on the top of the turnbuckle. But Liv countered that because there was a table there where the contract was, right? Obviously, the contract signing has to be a table for the contract to be laid upon. What Liv did with that, with what Shayna did, like I said, Shayna lifted her up, tried to put her on the top turnbuckle, and tried to maybe slam her off the top turnbuckle. But what happened was Liv reversed that kind of like a bulldog into a bulldog, and she pushed Shayna through the table. And Liv managed to get away with the skin of her teeth right there, man. She got one up on Shayna, and Shayna's out. And as I said, Hit Roll did come back and beat a team of Brendan Scott and Trevor Urban, bunch of jobbers. We see a recap of Ricochet beating Happy Corbin last week, SmackDown. And we see get an interview of Ricochet backstage, how he's going to move on. But of course, not King, I almost said King Corbin. Happy Corbin had other plans and just laid him out of nowhere and punched him. And Ricochet went to the ground, to the floor. And Corbin's like, "You think this is over? This is just getting started." Yeah, very. So we're definitely continuing that Ricochet and Corbin. Now we got the main event, the Intercontinental title match. The main event of SmackDown. Very good. About 25-minute main event, maybe around. Between Shinsuke Nakamura challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental title match. And this is the match was really, really good. Back and forth. You think Shinsuke was gonna win here, obviously, but no. Gunther gets the win here. It was quite obvious Gunther would get the win here. There's no point in taking the title off of Shinsuke. It's a very good main event. Very solid main event, in my opinion. Gunther, I definitely think he'll wrestle in Europe, in the UK. I know he's not he's not British. Obviously, he's not from the UK. Like he's not from Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England. But he is European, so I wouldn't be shocked if I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm pretty confident he'll definitely wrestle in the UK, and I'm glad they want to make the Intercontinental Championship meaningful again because that title, a lot of history and meaning behind that belt. Remember, a lot of legends won that belt back in the day, like Ultimate Warrior, Mr. Perfect, Scott Hall, Bret Hart, Waddy Piper, The Rock, Stone Cold, The Miz. A lot of legends back in the day were IC champions. And I want WWE to make that title mean something because you know what? It's lacked its luster over the years. And that's because of WWE how they treated the belts. And I think Gunther's a perfect guy to raise that prestige again. Because he's that damn good and that damn intimidating, if you ask me. And I he's definitely to me, he's definitely championship, world heavyweight championship material, whether it's a universal champion or a WWE champion. I think he'll definitely win one of those belts in the very near future. That's how much that's how much I see him as. His potential is down the line. And with Triple H at the helm, now, writing things, doing the creative stuff, you know, behind the scenes, I think with Triple H there, Triple H in charge, I think there's a much better chance of him becoming champion, and there's a much better chance to get other wrestlers being built stronger and returning wrestlers coming back. As you know, Triple H has brought back a lot of released wrestlers, man. Remember, Dakota Kai was released. Now she's back. Dexter Loomis was released. He's back. Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux were both released. They are back. And now Hit Row are back. I mean, who's coming back now? Johnny Gargano? Bray Wyatt? There's whispers of Bray Wyatt maybe coming back. The Fiend? I don't know. Now, anybody could be coming back now that Munch Triple H is back in it's not back and now in charge of the creative aspect of WWE, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and such. And you know what? The WWE world, the universe, the wrestling universe are taking notice how much WWE has been better as of late. The matches have been better, the stories have been better, the creative stuff has been better, much better. You can even see it in the wrestlers. They seem rejuvenated, man. They seem rejuvenated stuff. I know he's the son-in-law of Vince McMahon, obviously because he's married to Stephanie, but it seems like they're very completely different philosophies on how to one WWE. While WWE's entertainment, while it's still entertainment, he focused on the wrestling part too of entertainment, which was great at NXT, man. NXT had entertainment too when he was running it, but it had a lot of wrestling. Remember, a lot of people were hyped up for NXT when he was running it more than the main roster stuff. And that has me excited. Wrestling is the whole wrestling world is the universe is bright, man. With good creative, with good ideas behind it. And even Tony Khan acknowledged that WWE has been better as of late. Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, and he knows this is good for competition. This is good for competition. You have your competitors doing well. It just makes you want to do even better, compete even better. And last time WWE had competition, real threatening competition, was WCW. And now it's almost like 30 years ago, because I remember that. I was around that era. I was around preteen era when WCW was a legit threat to WWE. It was around, 96 to 90 to 99, 2000. I was about, 9 to 13 years old when WCW was a legit threat to WWE. And almost single-handedly WWE went out of business because of WCW. WCW was dominating WWE. Now, I don't think that's the case here. Even if AEW does get as popular as WCW, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I just don't see them being a threat. But otherwise, it's still good to see competition, right? And why not? You don't want to put your other company out of business, another company out of business. WCW wanted to put WWE out of business. I think that's petty and the wrong, and just wrong. I don't want to see that with the wrestling world these days. I know WWE has done in the past too. Before WCW came along, buying out the territories, buying, signing all the top territories, superstars because they wanted to go to New York and they want to get exposed on TV. The wrestlers and stuff, obviously. But this is great. It's great. AEW's acknowledging. Like I said on Monday. I'm saying on Monday, some NXT stars that went to WWE over the year that were the released ones: Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Samoa Joe, Scott, Keith Lee, uh, Amber Moon, maybe Tony Storm. I don't know who else. There's probably a few I'm not mentioning. I think if Triple H took over a year ago, I personally think this. You can tell me what you guys think. I think some of those. I'm not saying all. Some of those superstars, some of those wrestlers, would definitely still be WWE these days. These days, in the WWE organization, the company today. Now, obviously, you can't go after some of them because they have contracts with AEW. But Bray Wyatt is still out there. He doesn't have a contract with the wrestling promotion. You go after Bray Wyatt, right? If you're still an independent super, Adam Scheffler, Braun Strowman's out there. Maybe you could bring him back. There's also superstars that are not contractually signed with a promotion or just being independent and they're just taking pure appearance, bookings, pure appearance. WWE can sign, maybe. And I actually gotta go bathroom again, guys. I Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom, man. Where was it? Oh, I was talking about AEW. So yeah, like there's some AEW superstars contracts that might be up very soon, this year in 2023. Now, I don't see CM Punk going back to WWE ever because I know he doesn't have the best relationship with them, and he doesn't have a good relationship with the guy in charge now, Triple H. I know that for a fact. Moxley is a maybe. To me, Moxley is a maybe. Now with better, yeah, he really had no hard feelings towards WWE, but now with Triple H in charge, maybe. And there's a lot of MJF. I think now, well, MJF has been off TV, and that promo he cut after the pay per view was one of the best. We now know, like, They made it kind of kayfabe well known. But I think MJF, there's a better chance now MJF will go to WWE now that Triple H is in charge. Because I think Triple H will let MJF have more freedom to say what he wanted to say in his promos. Because MJF goes all out with his promos. Goes all out with his promos. So yeah. Yeah. I know for fact some members of the Elite are up in 2023. The Young Bucks. The Young Bucks. Page, and I'm pretty sure Omega are up in 2023. Now they kind of started the company, right? All of them together. They kind of started All Elite Wrestling. Can you imagine if they left for WWE? Oh my God! I mean, they already lost Cody Rhodes, but if they lose the Elite, the WWE, woo! That's a that's a that's that's internet breaking. And I mentioned our friend's stream. If CM Punk goes back to WWE, oh my God. That'll fucking break the internet. I'm sorry. That will destroy the internet. If CM Punk goes back to WWE, which I don't think will happen, but you know what they say in wrestling, never say never. But if he does go back to WWE, oh my God, that's huge. I mean, him coming back to wrestling 7 years after him walking out in 2014, joining AEW broke the internet. But if he went back to WWE after what they did to him, he was not happy with him. But when they basically released him on his wedding day and such, what they did to him and how they treated him, if he goes back to WWE, oh my God, I think, oh, I'll be shocked if it happens though. But I could just imagine if that happens. Imagine the Twitter breaking, man. Imagine Twitter breaking if CM Punk ever goes back to WWE. Oh my God. Now there's some wrestlers in WCW, not WCW, AEW, and they could probably benefit from being in WWE. Maybe like some of the younger talent. I think some talent there where WWE would definitely be interested in. MJF is one of them. No question about Ricky Starks. I think Ricky Starks is a talent WWE could be very interested in. Hobbs. Who else? Like Ricky Starks, MJF, Hobbs, some women wrestlers on the roster. Uh, I don't know. Sheeta? You think it'd be interesting, Sheeta? Uh, yeah, but like there's a lot of talent in AEW that I think looking at WWE and looking at Triple H. Yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea. Like as I said, Hobbs, Ricky Starks, MJF. There's a lot I don't know about Jungle Boy personally. There's some acts in AEW probably won't work in WWE. I mean, if there's a guy that I would sign if it's that I would sign, it's definitely Jay White of New Japan. To me, he would be the one of the top 5 free agents. Not free agents, superstars, because he is a contractor with New Japan. So I don't think he's a free agent. And I don't know what his contract is. There was a rumor it was up last year, but that was been debunked. It's not true. And he might have signed a long-term contract with them. But if he was ever available, I'm going after. He's one of the top. He's the guy. He's the guy I was signed. Signed Jay White out of New Japan. He's to me. He's he is a top tier talent. Somebody could push the top of the card in both companies. He's that damn good, Jay White. He's so his look too. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna be like, that's what I think. SmackDown was solid. I mean, the matches were solid. I know there were some segments in there that were back to back, but if you think about it, made sense. They're actually very, they're they weren't long, but I liked it overall, guys. Remember, next week they're in Montreal. We're gonna have Roman and Drew facing off. Nikita Lyons, Zoe Stark of NXT will take on Natalia and Sonya Deville, and the winner of that goes to the next semifinals of SmackDown bracket of the Women's Tag Team Champions, and obviously that'll take place at Clash of the Castle for the finals. And the Viking Raiders are gonna have a funeral segment for the New Day, but that's next week. And so yeah, and tomorrow, guys, I have a stream tomorrow at 6:30, 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, talking about, well, Spider-Man, the Spidey versus Sony, whatever. Okay, and remember, next Saturday, She-Hulk episode 1 spoiler review will be happening. Make sure you see an episode if you want to hop on. That's next Saturday, so eight or it depends where you are. It's 8 days where I am, but if you're in Europe or the rest of the world, it's probably like 7 days, a week away. And yeah, so what I want you guys to do is like, share, subscribe, comment below. Tell your friends, click the notification bell for stuff to come up. Like tomorrow, for example. Click the notification bell because, like I said, I have a stream coming up tomorrow. And with that, AWO, Aaron Order is out.